Recently, Marvel Comics introduced a new character named Princess Matoaka. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because Matoaka is the birth name of an indigenous woman most of us know as Pocahontas. Now, I know what you're thinking. What a great opportunity to show a historic Native woman for the complicated, resourceful, brave person that she was. Well, instead, they did this. Wow, yeah, first, that's super racist. Second, it's very confusing to literally anyone who has seen a woman in her underwear.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies for Nerds and New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka Finger in Your Ear Hole, with my co-host.
All right. This is Eli, aka Mountain Dew Me, baby.
Because that's what I wanted the podcast to. That's what I equate the podcast to being. It sounds like a finger in your ear hole, or it feels like a finger in your ear hole. Because everybody knows
Is that a good thing?
Everybody knows a finger in your ear hole is a good thing. You may not admit it. You may not admit it in public, but you know you like it. And that's how I see this podcast. It's the same way.
My finger. I don't know if anybody else's.
Okay, yeah, nobody else's finger, but your finger in your ear hole. You like it. You know you like it. Don't deny it. Yeah, we're back with the episode. And Eli, how you feeling this week? I know we've been rough. This last 2 months has been rough for the bullies. It's like a damn infirmary over here.
I'm still trying to shake this cold that I can't seem to shake. I'm still blowing my nose and hacking up phlegm and just being a slimy, sick bastard. It sucks.
But you're still hanging in there. You're still hanging in there.
I'm
so
still here.
You.
Lost an hour of sleep, so I'm even more tired than I was because of this daylight savings shit. But hey,
which shouldn't exist, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. We're not going to be political. So, and yeah, honestly, I've been feeling good up until this last episode, until yesterday. When the weather just went from 70 degrees to 20. So now I got the sniffles. But you know what? We're going to be troopers.
You mean it's getting cold down there?
Yeah, it's like cold. Like, yeah, I can't even wear shorts anymore. So yeah, it's getting rough down here. So, but yeah, we're gonna hang in there. We're just gonna jump into it because we're troopers. Eli, before we jump into it, I just want to just briefly mention at my job, they have now lifted the mask mandate. So that's pretty cool. Problem is, I don't recognize. That may be why I'm sick. Yeah, I was doing fine until the mask mandate didn't boom. All of a sudden I get sick. But it's weird because I realized when the mask mandate, so many people I don't think I've ever seen before. Like, I don't recognize them. Yeah. So when they see me, they're like, "Hey,
you're a woman." Wow.
It's just weird stuff, man. Like, hey, good morning, Leroy. How you doing? Like, morning. Who are you? Like, who sent you? I don't know you. We've been working together for a year and a half. Like, damn,
I'm your boss. No.
Right. Like, damn, Cole's been around for 2 years. I don't know you. But yeah, we're getting to know people, so can't go anywhere. Gas is $5 a gallon. Ever since the war with Russia started, even though I don't remember us getting gas from Russia. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but that's just me, But we're gonna keep it live. We're gonna keep it light. Oh well, but we got one thing we do have to address before we get to the fun stuff. We're just gonna go ahead and talk about it because we have to honor religion. We want to say rest in peace to William Hurt.
Yes.
Like I said, yeah, because like I said, William Hurt has been around for decades. Before Eli and I, he was already making movies, cranking them out left and right. Eli, I don't know how familiar you are with William Hurt. Me personally, when I was growing up with him, like I said, he was, cranking out Oscars left and right, playing in serious dramatic roles,
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't movies I was watching back in the 80s. If it wasn't, if I didn't see Luke Skywalker in it or a Muppet Baby or, a Transformer or Ninja Turtle, I didn't know what it was. So these movies William Hurt was playing in, The Big Chill, I'm not watching that, Hold on, we'll see.
Even though that was written by the guy who wrote Empire Strikes Back.
COVID's before the like I predicted, COVID's before the new float. No, people got flu. Like Eli has the flu. He has a cold.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I tested
not
negative
COVID.
for COVID twice because it's been going on for so long. I got tested the other day again just to make sure, and I'm still negative. It's just a
So
fucking cold. I haven't, like I said, I haven't been sick for 2 years because I've been masking up and haven't been hanging out with people.
that
And
one time you went out, you got
yeah,
something.
yeah. One time I went to to go see Batman.
Do you have a ticket of Batman in your hand? Then you have the flu. Rest in peace, Mr. Hurt. Yeah, but back talking to like I said, William Hurt. Like I said, he's been in a whole bunch of movies, dramatic roles. So it really wasn't I wasn't the target demographic, because I was, 5. But but all of a sudden, then he started playing in the MCU when he became I became his target demographic. All of a
There
sudden
you
he
go.
became Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Like I said, Eli, he played in the Hulk movies. The Hulk is both in our top 5 list of great superheroes of all time. So we're very well familiar with Thaddeus Ross. I loved his portrayal. He was pretty much he captured the spirit, the essence of Thaddeus Ross. He was an asshole. And that's what
Yeah.
we always pictured Thaddeus Ross to be, Thunderbolt Ross to be. So he nailed that role down. Like I said, he's played in a bunch of roles, probably played like
Lost
6
in
roles.
Space. He was in that Lost in Space movie.
Yeah, that one, the one they tried to make Matt LeBlanc from Friends a thing. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's played in a tons of movies.
All
Like
States is a good horror flick where he reverts back and starts becoming a caveman. It's a weird ass. Watch it while you're on something. But yeah, check him out in Altered States. Good flick.
okay. Yeah, but that's really all we can say about, like I said, rest in peace to Thunderbolt Ross. So I guess we're not gonna get a Red Hulk thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
This kills our chances of seeing a Red Hulk
Not that
with
Marvel
him,
ever,
anyways.
yeah, not that Marvel ever teased it. And plus, I never thought they were gonna make a 70-year-old a Hulk villain anyway. But you know, and plus, I just thought that was kind of weird. Plus, what would be really weird if they recast him, and then the recast the child of crowd can be like, "What the fuck?" you know. Hopefully, it doesn't.
As
Well, I'm not gonna
Will
say
Smith, Will Smith takes over the role.
right. Oh man. So all right, but we can move on past that. Let's get to the fun stuff now. Let's get to the fun stuff. Okay, so like I said,
Yeah.
I saw a movie. Eli,
Did you?
I don't think you saw this movie. Yeah, I watch movies sometimes, when I'm
Oh,
bored.
okay. I went and
Yeah.
saw I took my niece to see Spider-Man the other night.
Oh,
That was
what they think?
fun again. Oh, they liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. There's a new Spider-Man. It's great.
Okay. I mean, did they see it before? That was their first time seeing it?
That was their first time seeing it. Oh,
Okay,
I
'cause
watched this. Yeah, I watched the Adam Project.
oh,
I
did
did
you?
watch this. I did.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna be just here by myself talking about it. So okay. I
No,
had
I
prepared a
watched it.
whole thing, a whole PowerPoint presentation, everything. Like, let's just milk this for what it is. But now you can join in. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just talk about it briefly, what we're talking about. Okay, so for those who haven't seen the Adam Project, I'll just give you a quick synopsis of what the movie is. Okay, so the base of the movie is it's pretty much every sci-fi movie ever made. Ryan Reynolds goes back in time to meet young Ryan Reynolds to stop the future from blah blah blah. Plot does not matter. All that matters is action, 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 family drama, adventure. Main thing about this movie is that it is a kids movie.
Yeah.
It is not an action movie. It is an adventure movie. It reminds me in that frame of the old 80s Spielberg movies, like I guess Goonies, like the movies he
E.T.
produced, E.T., or even some of the other movies of just the 80s that was ripping off Spielberg, like Flight of the Navigator, those
Flight of the
type movies.
Navigator was a big. I
Yeah.
saw. Yeah, that was a big
It,
influence.
it reminded me of that. So that's what they
Back
was
to the
going for.
Future. I mean, the time
Oh
travel.
man, there
shit.
was heavy Back to the Future references, and I think they just flat out said it. I think even Christopher Lloyd even did like a promo for this movie. So they wanted you to to think of these movies when you think about all these 80 movies. But at the same time, it didn't feel like a Red Notice, the other Ryan Reynolds movie, where it just felt like they were just copy and pasting other movies. This felt like it was taking reference, but it was making it its own thing. It felt because the actual plot of the movie, the action, the stuff that get going, honestly, I feel like that was secondary. It's there, but it's just familiar. People pull out lightsabers, you got jets, you got spaceships. None of that matters. It's fun. It's
Well,
flippers.
yeah, it was like kind of like those 80s, like a movie, a kids movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of it kind of pushes it. It's not all light and fluffy like most kids movies these days. especially coming up in the 90s and early 2000s, they're very, very cartoony, or they're at, Mom and Dad Save the World, or Aliens in the Attic, or
Mm-hmm.
getting stuck at the airport. What's that movie where all the kids get stuck at there? They're kind of like Mighty Ducks, they're kind of
Right.
light and fluffy comedies and shit. Whereas a lot of 80s kids movies, yeah, The Goonies and E.T., they
Like
had an
even the
edge to them.
soft ones like Sandlot, they got caught, chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
Even in movies like that. And that was one of the tame ones back in Monster Squad. They were going all that
Yeah,
other than
Monster Squad, they're killing. Yeah, Rudy's like waits till the fucking werewolf kills all the cops before he kills the werewolf, which is awesome.
Right. So like I said,
But-
so this doesn't go as hard as an 80s movie, but
yeah,
it
but
goes a
it's
little
in
bit
that
harder
vein.
than it's
Yeah.
in that vein. It's more than what you expect from a kids movie these days, So
Yeah,
I'll say it's a
there's
family
swearing.
movie.
The kid is swearing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
it had an edge to it.
okay. So as far as who's in this movie, you got Jennifer Garner, she plays the mom.
Mhm.
Mark Ruffalo plays the dad. Of course, the dad he died, so he didn't show up till like later on in the movie. Zoe Saldana, let's see what she got. She is in it for a good 5 minutes. She gets like a heartwarming scene with Ryan Reynolds. She gets an action scene, and you don't see her again till like
She gets to kick a little ass.
yeah, and you don't see her again. So this easiest paycheck ever. I do know something that whenever they need like a new sci-fi movie or a fantasy movie, Zoe Saldana is like the first person they always call. Star Trek, Avengers, Avatar, whatever. This you just like get Zoe Saldana. Why not? She's like the female Samuel Jackson at this point. Ryan Reynolds. I want to talk about Ryan Reynolds in this movie. Because the thing was, Ryan Reynolds was playing more like to me. He was playing like a more subdued role in this movie. He was playing like a more depressed role because this is the future. He comes from a Terminator type future, and life's just been kicking his ass. So he's not like the usual Ryan Reynolds he normally is, even though he'll get a few, one-liners off every now and then. But the thing is, the person that carries the heavy load for the comedic effect to me was the kid. To me, Eli, this kid stole the show. Yeah. I know most of the time, these kid actors, you just pay no attention to them. You either pay no attention to them or they're annoying as fuck. To me, he killed it because the thing was, he was doing a Ryan Reynolds impression.
Well,
And he nailed it.
Yeah, and he was being a kid. How kids act. That's why the '80s movies were so cool, because that's how we all act. I've been swearing since I was 6 years old. I never did it around my parents, but we talk like that. We got into some stupid shit. We were doing shit that they don't show in kids movies.
Right.
We were fucking being daredevils and almost getting ourselves killed all the time, and those movies like The Goonies and E.T. and Monster Squad, it showed kids acting real, and that's what you get. This kid is acting real, like how kids act.
But the
not
thing
watering
was,
it down for the PG audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing was, he was mannering the mannerisms of Ryan Reynolds, like Deadpool. Because I even looked it up, and how he got the role was that he quoted the intro to Deadpool 2, like the first 20 minutes of it. So I was like,
I saw that video where he's just like doing all the dialogue and shit.
Right. So like, damn, he nailed it. He was nailing it so well. I made me think like, damn, does Ryan Reynolds did he, step outside his wife in 2010 and, maybe had an outside kid and now he's trying to pay it back with this kid? Because he nailed the role. He need to claim that kid on his taxes next year. So yeah, to me, that kid killed it. He was even quoting Deadpool lines in the movie. Like when he did the thing, he jumped and landed. He was like, "Severe landing." I'm like, okay. He's quoting Deadpool in this movie. So I like that. Who else we got? Like I said, we got the mom, Jennifer Garner. She's playing not only the kid's mom, but Ryan Reynolds' mom, because time travel reasons. Eli, I am so glad they didn't do what I thought they were going to do and have like some kind of weird thing between like Back to the Future. I was like, please don't do it. Please don't. If you do it, I'm cutting the movie off right now. But they didn't do it. And matter of fact, it was a heartfelt scene. All he said was, he basically was saying like, your son's not an asshole. It's going to be all right. Because at the time she was like having trouble because her son is young Ryan Reynolds, so of course he's an asshole. And that's one of the things I like about the movie, because the kid was such an asshole in the movie. Like he was giving it back to Ryan Reynolds, like Ryan was giving to him. It's like Ryan Reynolds was like, "Damn, is this how I act to other people?" Yeah, I'm annoying as fuck. Okay, so I kind of like that part of the movie. Like I said, Mark Ruffalo is playing the dad. He's basically playing the Hulk. I mean, not Hulk, but Bruce Banner. Now that scene at the end, and that's the thing. This movie had like some heartwarming scenes to me. I kind of liked at the end, especially at the end, because like Ryan Reynolds like hates him because he died and he blames him for that. So you kind of like see where him and his younger self feel about their dad at the stage in their life. And at the end of like Mark Ruffalo just hugs him. He was like, let the hurt go, and he was like trying to punch him and hit him to get him off of him, and then eventually he just let go and just let him hug his dad. I was like, damn. Honestly, this movie might even trigger people that that have lost a loved one and want to see them, stuff like that. Yeah, I thought it was kind of emotional scene towards the end.
Yeah, and that's like,
but,
hey, E.T. that triggers tears and yeah. I mean, a lot of those old, like I said, back in the 80s, Never-Ending Story, shit like that. The very emotional scenes for like kids.
Right. Yeah, they think kids are ready for it. Hell, even Luke Skywalker getting his hand chopped off was a traumatic scene for a lot of kids back then.
Yeah.
George Lucas was like, those kids, they'll be all right. But yeah, so that's the thing. But like I said, we're talking about like the emotional scenes, the family scenes, the dramatic scenes. But notice we're not talking about the action scenes in an action movie, because although they were cool, they were just everything you've seen before. He pulls out a lightsaber, pulls out a laser gun, pulls out, whatever. I always wondered,
where'd you get your lightsaber? It's not a lightsaber.
right.
And then he pulls out that like double-bladed things. Yeah, that's a lightsaber.
Always quoting the old 80s movies. Oh, you've seen Terminator, right? Well, our future's like that on a Tuesday. That's stuff like that. And so, but that's thing that all the action and the scene, they're derivative because it's stuff you've seen before, and they want you to be familiar with this stuff. That way, so they can just speed through the plot. The time travel, like I said, it's a time travel movie, but they never actually explain the rules of time travel. Just like, fuck it, we just do whatever we want to do, So like in a vampire movie, they'll tell you the rules of a vampire movie for a vampire movie star. Time travel movies, they'll tell you the rules of a time travel movie. This one doesn't. They just do whatever. As far as like the grandfather paradox, they don't give a shit about that. They just go with it, So, and I never understand the trope in these movies, how the heavily armed goons are always taken out with one hit. Like, what is the armor for? That's just me. Movies do it, but
they were stormtroopers. They were just
that was stormtroopers, and they want you to think they're stormtroopers. That way, they don't have to explain shit. So, but that's the movie. The movie felt like action wise, surface level, but the family dramatic stuff about him going back in time and meeting his parents, and wishing he did different things with his parents, and getting mad at his younger self for doing that bullshit. Don't go down the same path I am. So I thought it was pretty good overall. And this thing, like I said, normally with these Netflix movies, I kind of rank them on a lower level. Like, okay, it's good for a Netflix movie, but this one, honestly, Eli, if I'd have went to the movies and saw it, I'd have been okay. I feel like I would have got my money's worth, so yeah, overall, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Like a good, fun movie. Then you'll watch again. It's good entertainment. If you got kids, they'll like it. Even though kids don't watch movies anymore, they don't watch anything that's not Fortnite or TikTok. But if you can get them to sit down and watch a movie, I think they might enjoy this. So
yeah.
But I slept right on Eli. Like I said, you saw what do you think?
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It was cute and fun, for a kids movie. Yeah.
That's what kind of shocked you even saw it. I was like, yeah, this is a kids movie. I didn't know if Eli was going to be into this.
Well, that dude's all right. I mean, that's the guy, that director. He worked on Stranger Things, which is a total throwback to 80s kids movies. He did The Free Guy. So I've seen some of his flicks. I'll check it out. It's on Netflix.
Oh, and he's also the director of the upcoming Deadpool 3.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. It's I guess from Hollywood Reporters. It's not a rumor or anything like that. It's been confirmed. So yeah, so he's working with Ryan Reynolds. They're going to be their third movie. And they're gonna crank it out. We already know it's going to be PG-13. You already know. So everybody's getting pissed off about what their Deadpool's going to be. It's going to be PG-13. So yeah, just let it go.
No more dick jokes.
You can get one. You're allowed one. Oh man! All right. So what do we got next on the list? I think we should do that. No, before I was gonna let you do something, Eli, but I'm gonna do something first. Okay. So this thing. So I was on Facebook today. I almost got kicked out of a group. The reason I got kicked out of a group because everybody was talking about that new Christopher Nolan movie called Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
I knew I screwed that up. Okay. So they're talking about Oppenheimer, and I was thinking like, everybody, because here's all the people that's gonna be in the movie. Boom. That's all the people and that's not even all the people he announced yet. He's announced some more people in the movie. So there was somebody made a post. It's like, they're like, oh, he's got so many people in the movie. When Christopher Nolan called you, who are you playing in the movie? And then I just posted, all I said was, well, I didn't get a phone call because I'm not white. So that's all. And everybody and everybody got triggered. How dare you say that? That's racist. Like, how's that racist? Like, you think I really sit around waiting for Christopher Nolan to call me? I don't give a shit. Honestly, Eli, and you already know, we have been around the block long enough to know this, when the movie comes out, is going to be a topic. It's going to be in the news. It's going to be over on social media, because let's be honest with you, this cast is about as white as a polar bear.
Well, that Remy Malek, he's like
He don't,
Middle Eastern
no,
something, ain't he?
no,
But he's
no.
white passing.
I know what you were gonna say. I already looked. I would look at it, but Remy, no. Oh no, he is not the fly in the milk. I'm sorry, no. So that's my thing. But here's the thing: we already know it's going to be a thing. Honestly, it doesn't need to be a thing. If Christopher Nolan wants to make the whitest movie ever, let him. It's okay. We don't need him to add, a black person or a trans person or whatever the hell else he want to make. If that's the movie he wants to make, let him make it. It's okay. Now, the only problem I might have with this movie is, since, like what you say, it's Oppenheimer. Okay, and
Yeah,
I know
I
the
mean,
movie is I know the movie is based on like the Manhattan Project, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, only problem I might have with the movie is if there was a black scientist that worked on the
I think
Manhattan
there was a
Project.
few. I think there was a
Were they?
few. I think there was
Oh,
Asian.
now I got a
I
problem.
think, I
Okay.
think there's a bunch
I
of
was gonna let him slide. I was
non-whites
gonna let
working
him
on that.
slide. Yeah. I was gonna let him slide. Like, oh shit, here we go again. Okay, so see, I was trying to be on the side, Eli. I was trying to, go to bat for him, but now you
Well, I'm gonna say
you
maybe that Remy Malek is filling that quote.
Oh hell no! The guy looks like me on the history poster, played by Remy Malek. Like hell no, that better not be the case. You know what? But you know what, Eli? Everybody gives Christopher Nolan shit because he does do a lot of whitewash movies and history on whitewash people, or even like he did with The Dark Knight Returns. Like people get pissed off about Zoe Kravitz and Jeffrey Wright, for those changes in the new Batman movie. But nobody ever said anything about Ra's al Ghul in the old movie, or Bane in the old movie, who's from South America. He whitewashed them and let him go. But you know what? Here's why I give him a pass. And I'm the only person that gives Christopher Nolan a pass, but I give him a pass. Because people always saying that he should do a James Bond movie. People always saying, don't make James Bond black. Make a new character and just have him in his franchise. He did that. He made Tenet. He basically made a black James Bond movie where it was just that. And nobody gets credit for that.
Wasn't that guy's name like Man or something? He didn't even have a name.
He actually didn't even have a name. But yeah. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Every time I try, you shut me down.
We all know how I feel about Christopher Nolan. I don't give a shit. I didn't even see that fucking movie.
Oh man. Okay, I'm done defending Christopher Nolan. Every time I try, you're just gonna shoot me down again. So okay.
I wasn't gonna see this shit anyway. The last shit I saw was the World War I movie, the Dunkirk.
1917. Oh,
I saw Dunkirk.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was bored as shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm not into Christopher Nolan. He's no Martin Scorsese. Yeah, Dunkirk, where the most brutal death is a guy falling down the stairs on a boat. Shit.
Oh man, maybe they have more depths in this one. I don't know. All right, so all right, Eli, you up for this? Even though we've already talked about this, I'm gonna let you. Well, you did, because we're gonna talk about.
Are we talking
that.
about this?
We don't have to. We don't have to. We don't have to. If you want.
Well, I got one. I got a bone to pick about this, and it ain't. Yes, we broke this.
Because we never did a follow. Because we never did a follow up on it.
Yes. Okay. What, about a month ago now? When did this comic come out?
About a month ago. Yeah.
I reviewed this comic. So yes, Jason Aaron is in some hot water for that King Conan comic that came out a few weeks ago, where he uses this hot chick and names her after Pocahontas's real name, which was Matoaka. We reviewed it. I reviewed it on our show a couple weeks ago, and I called it out then, gave it a shitty review, all that shit. And, and then a couple weeks later, now it's in the news. People are talking about it. People are outraged. The Native community found out about it. All these articles are being written. All these Native influencers are being interviewed. And no mention of us.
Right.
They never mentioned, so it just goes to show that there's no natives watching our show.
Right. But you know what, Eli, it's just par for the course. There's so much news that we break way before anybody else does.
Yeah.
And then it eventually catches on and we can't even talk about it because we've
And
already
I've been
talked about
going
it.
on all those articles, all those posts about this shit. I'm going, hey, yeah, I reviewed this on our show. Check it out.
Eli, I'm glad you brought it up. I will find it and I will post it and I will make a thing. I will make it a clip because I should have did it then, but I didn't think it was going to be the shitstorm that it turned out to be. So
yeah. I mean, I gave it a crappy review. I mean, because I'm into Conan. I've been reading Conan. I'm into Jason Aaron shit. He writes macho men doing tough guy shit. I'm a dude. I like, boobs and burgers and shit blowing up. Like, I'm a guy. What do you want me to do? So yeah, I'm into Conan, and Conan, that's all he does. That's what he does. He fights and he fucks and he bangs all these chicks. That's just Conan. That's what I like about Conan. But if you're going to have that, don't name the chick after the name of a victim of real life human trafficking.
Right. that America has romanticized.
Yeah. I mean, I read it, and when I was reading it, because I was conflicted, because like I said, I'm into the Conan comic. I've been reading Jason Aaron's run. I'm into it, and then when I read that shit, and I saw, oh shit, that name sounds familiar, and I Googled it, and then I went, oh shit. So he's using Pocahontas, who in real life was dead by the time she was 21. She was kidnapped. All that Disney bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit fairy tale. It's the feel-good story about a human trafficking victim. It's bullshit. Yeah. So it pissed off a bunch of natives. It pissed off her tribe. It pissed off a lot. Native Twitter went off. And yeah, I gave the comic a shitty review, and it was like a couple weeks ago. And now it's
everywhere. So like I said, if you want to get a breakdown of it, like I said, I think the Amber Ruffin show on Peacock did like a 10-minute thing on it. But Eli also did a 10-minute thing on it on our show about a month ago. So yes, look at that up also.
Yeah.
We're not going to have all these people just eat off us.
I mean, if you want to have him banging hot chicks, go ahead. Just don't name her after a real life victim of human trafficking.
The thing is, Gabe, I'm not going to say just don't do it, but be more responsible about it.
Yeah.
Like if you were going to go there, right, maybe bring some attention to that, maybe bring awareness to it. Don't just do what you did.
And I know Jason Aaron, he's in love with the romantic, image of the noble Indian savage. And he's all, he's got a Native American fetish. He wrote Scalped, that book Scalped, about life on the reservation, even though he's never lived on one, so he's into natives, and I can tell, but maybe he should hang out with some real natives. That way they could have told him, don't do that shit.
Right. Not Google, like actually talk to them, maybe interview, or maybe run it by, have a native friend, just have one native friend and run it by them. Like, what do you think?
And like, and he said, he's since apologized. He's going to donate the proceeds to like the Native American women's groups and stuff like that. And that's all good, but his whole excuse of, I didn't know, is bullshit. Like, I was just making up. And like, you don't say, here's Unga Bunga, and it just happened to be the name of someone. No, Fufu or whatever.
Right.
and just
like you can do a name generator or anything like that. No, you had to find it from somewhere.
No, you took Matoaka, which is Pocahontas' real name, and then the story in the comic is about a native who falls in love with the white guy and all this. It's the Pocahontas fairy tale with Conan in it. So yeah, that's bullshit that he didn't know. He was just picking a name out of his ass, and it just happened to be, a reference to that. That's bullshit. But Marvel needs to hire, some editors, native editors, not just native writers, native writers every once
Like
a year when they
Twitter should not be editing your comics.
yes, they need to like run this by some, hire some people that are in the administration so they
Or
can
better
take a
yet,
look
not
at it.
even
Yeah.
an editor. Like I said, you saying they have native writers there, or native artists there. Somebody could just walk over and be like, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't do that."
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Okay, so we all seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Remember John Walker's black sidekick Battlestar? Okay,
Yeah.
so in the comics, in the original comics in the 80s, his name was Bucky. He was basically Bucky #2. But then, Dwayne McDuffie walked over to, the writer of the comic Captain America Time and like, maybe you shouldn't call a black guy Buck, just and then he had to break down to him what that term meant. You're like, yeah, I didn't know, So he changed it the next day, just somebody just walk over and explain it. That's all. Like honestly, Eli, I blame the native writers at Marvel for letting this shit get that far. Not even
That's the thing is
not even just
where
Jason Aaron.
yeah, where are they? Because the native writers are like the celebrity writers. It's fucking Taboo. It's
Right.
Rebecca Roanhorse, who like gets hired like once a year to write their token native book, and then they have other jobs. Taboo's
Right. So
got
they're not
another
there the whole
job.
time. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
Taboo's got
He's a rapper, so yeah, he has a lot
yeah.
of time
Now
there.
they got Nyla Rose gonna write the Thunderbird book, and she's a wrestler. Like, and that's the thing is like that's a whole other topic about how they just get these celebrity writers to here. You want to write a comic? Anybody can do it.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's patronizing and makes comics look like a lesser form of art when you just hire anybody off any old celebrity to promote your shit. But
Eli,
yeah,
I need you to break into business. So next, so when you get famous, we can go on the yacht and go snort coke off a chick's titties.
I'm working on. I will be having an announcement soon coming up.
I've already got my stripper picked out. Eli, get on it. So yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can move on. But yeah, Jason Aaron fucked up. He's trying to amend shit, but yeah. And we broke this news like a few weeks ago, and that's my big beef. That's my big beef about.
Right.
I knew about this shit before everybody.
Yeah, we broken so much news on this podcast before they just gets passed over. I just let it go after a while.
Yeah.
I was like, we're just not gonna get our due. We're just not gonna get our due. But, or maybe they actually listen to us and take our shit. That's what I'm thinking also. All right. So can we move on? Can we move on to the comics?
Sure.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think how I'm gonna start this off. Okay, here's the thing, Eli. I have good news.
Yeah.
We are back, baby.
Are we?
I have figured out a workaround.
Oh shit.
I have jury rigged some stuff to make it work. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to find out. But anyway, this is the Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books. We're going to talk about the new books that came out this week. And I guess I should go first, or you should go first. Let me go.
How to use Comixology, the new Comixology?
Well, should I break it down or should I not break it down? I don't know if I should break it because it's technically not comics.
You might be giving a bunch of people pointers. Make a clip out of this. How to use Comixology now.
Okay, I think I will. I think I will. Tell you what, I'm gonna let you.
I might take some notes too.
Okay, I need to get set up. You want to go first while I get set up?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you want me to do the Batman book now, or should I just wait?
Cold Case? You can do Cold Case, yeah.
Sure. I can do Cold Case, even though I read it like last week, so I'll have to remember. Did you read Cold Case?
I didn't. I was going to, but then I didn't.
All right. Well, we were going to do this last week because it was the Batman movie, and we were going to talk about all things Batman, but we went way too long just sucking that Batman movie's dick that we didn't get a chance to do any comics. So we were going to review like old school Batman comics where he was just a detective.
Oh, I do want to say something also. Now we were going to actually do a whole thing about the Long Halloween. We were going to break that bitch down, but then I like lifted it and saw how many pages. I was like, Eli, we're not doing that. Also, there was another thing. Like I said, we got some hardcore listeners that like really, fool with us, that really rock with us. That were like, we love your podcast, we love listening to your podcast, but since we haven't seen the Batman movie, we can't listen to your last episode. So I'm like, out of respect for them, I was like, we need to kind of like stay away from hitting it. So we're not dropping the Batman references, anything in this podcast episode. That being said, next week will be 2 weeks after the movie came out. So whatever you haven't seen, hey, that's on you after that. So, all right.
Yeah.
So
So this was so Cold Case was a 3-story arc appearing in the Legends of the Dark Knight comic, which was just a bunch of, you know, one-off Batman stories, kind of not appearing at or appearing out of the main book. And it's just basically Batman trying to solve these murders. Actually, it's an old murder. There was like some old, what were they called? The Riverside Park murder killer or whatever. Like 20 years before, you know, when Bruce was still a kid, there was a series of murders where women were being disemboweled and their organs being taken out. Sorry. And no one caught the killer. And the case was never closed, hence the title Cold Case. 20 years later, a true crime writer reopens the case and starts writing a book about these murders, and basically saying the killer had to know medical knowledge and how to do surgeries because of the nature of the crimes, removing the organs and stuff. So it had to be someone who was a doctor or a physician, and he names a suspect, very similar to the Zodiac book and the movie Zodiac. This writer names a suspect in his book, and he names Thomas Wayne. Because Thomas Wayne was a doctor. And so this prompts Batman to go start investigating. He starts investigating, the cops, this one cop that worked on the case, who was also corrupt, and now he works for the Penguin. He interviews that guy. He interviews the writer. He interviews all these people. Then these people start winding up dead. Everybody he interviews ends up dead. So he ends up talking to Leslie Tompkins, who was also working at the hospital during that time. And she's just, because, it's like, this guy is naming my dad as a suspect. And she recalls a patient he was seeing, that he was like, well, something's going on with one of my patients, but out of the confidentiality, we're not supposed to talk about it, but I have a fear that there might be some violence involved and blah, 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 blah. And, so he was like conflicted about talking to the police about it. But even though it was something in the past, it happened in the past and there was no more threat of violence. So he didn't know if he should talk about it. And then shortly thereafter, Bruce Wayne's parents ended up getting killed. So they never, named him as a suspect. So Batman digs into Thomas Wayne's history of his patients and figures out who the killer is. And he's like, oh shit, I better go back to Leslie Thompson. So he rushes over. The patient Thomas Wayne was seeing was Nora Freeze.
Oh shit. Did she have the disease already?
She already had the disease, and the killer was Mr. Freeze. But it was before he became Mr. Freeze. He was trying to save her, hence why he was going around cutting out all these organs and giving it to his wife and trying to save his wife. And then his wife suspected, because the murders were going on, his wife ended up suspecting Victor was doing that. And that's when she told Bruce or Thomas Wayne about it, So Batman goes there just in time for Mr. Freeze, because he's going around killing all the witnesses, because they're like, oh shit, this guy's writing a book, he's opening the case, I got to kill all the witnesses. Batman gets there just in time, to save Leslie Tompkins from Mr. Freeze, and there's a big fight and shit, and and he kicks his ass, and turns out, Nora Freeze was feeling conflicted about getting all these organs from these murder victims and shit. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It's Batman being a detective, very similar to what's going on in the movie, solving the serial killer case that turned out to be Mr. Freeze. So yeah, check it out.
For some reason, I didn't make the connection that the killer in a Batman book called Cold Case was Mr. Freeze. I didn't
Yes,
make that
hence the title, Cold Case.
right. Everyone chill,
Mhm.
But yeah, that's okay. And matter of fact, it sounds like the basics that they decided to do like a sequel to make Mr. Freeze. They want to make him a serious, villain. They could go
Yeah.
that route. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we have in there? Okay, so like I said, let's talk about comicsology for a second. Let's talk about comicsology.
Okay.
So like I said, for those of you keeping up with the podcast or just keeping up with comicsology in general, they all know that comicsology sucks ass right now. But I have found a workaround, because if you go to, like, you type in comicsology, it takes you directly to the Amazon site where you can't really do anything. And even if you download the Amazon browser, the Amazon app, the Kindle app on Windows, it still doesn't work right. Like I said, you've seen us struggle with stuff like that. But here's the workaround that I found. And I'm going to see if I can pull it up right quick. Okay. So the workaround that I found, that if you go to actual Amazon, you'll see, let me see if I can pull it up right there. Right there, you're going to see Amazon App Store. So what Amazon App Store is actual the Android version of all the Android apps. Because the thing is, Kindle and comicsology actually works pretty good on iOS devices and Android devices. It just sucks on Windows. So if you download that one on the left, basically what it does is that you get the Android version of it. So when you get the Android version of it, let me see if I can show you. It will look like this. Where are you? Yeah. So that's what the books look like right there. So like, that's all my list that I have right there. My whole file, my whole library is there, and I'm gonna just show you a quick of one that won't get me flagged anything. Let's do take it to Amazon, because I am not reviewing that book. That book fucking sucked. But anyway, see, it works.
I almost
decent
got that too. I almost
Yeah.
got that.
And because you still get the 7 preview stuff like that, but I'm not. Yeah, but that's what you got right there. So yeah.
See,
So
I got it on my tablet, and it doesn't. I got to download it to see the sample. And,
oh yeah, you got to download see the sample. That's what I just did. I downloaded see the sample, so you can't see it till you download the sample. Yeah,
because like before, I could just like
just
the pages
click it,
were already there,
and it was there. Yeah,
yeah. Like I didn't even have to click. Oh, I could just see the first few pages. Oh, okay, and decide whether or not to buy it or not. But it still doesn't let you add shit to the cart. That's really annoying.
I'm gonna look at it again. Like I say, it's still some stuff playing around with. They got some stuff they need to fix it, but we'll see how it goes. So, all right. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually do a book now. The first book I'm going to do. Let's see. I think the first book I'm going to do is NAOMI. NAOMI season 2. Eli, I take it you haven't been keeping up with the CW show.
I watch it, but I don't pay because it comes on. It automatic because I got the CW app. It automatically plays right after Superman. So I've been watching them, but not paying too much attention. I'm getting the gist. It's
okay.
It's all right,
First off, it's slow. The show is so slow because the thing is, they're just now finishing the first arc of the first comic in the show now. Like, damn, we already did this shit. But anyway, let's start the season 2 because hopefully they'll get to that in season 2. So what we have here is boom, NAOMI. And first off, whatever you say about the NAOMI book, the art is awesome, which you will soon see now I get everything fixed. So let's see where we're going to start off. Okay, so starting off with the book, you see all the people that NAOMI's class keep talking about. Oh, did you see what happened last week? Last week was awesome. And NAOMI's just like, they said what? And basically the rumor that's going around school or in the town is that she had a death match, a battle to the death with Black Adam. It didn't happen, but that's what everybody thought happened. And she's like, are y'all that damn dumb? If I really had a death fight with Black Adam, do you think I'd really be standing here? They're like, well, you got a point. So then she's talking to a therapist, and the therapist like, okay, so what happened? And she's like, okay, so what happened was somebody from my home planet attacked Black Adam, and he thought I might know something, so he just came and asked me a question. And that's when Superman showed up, invited him to the Justice League. And now I know Aquaman. And now Black Canary knows my name. It sounds weird when you say it out loud. So you're like, yeah, it does, So she's still talking to a therapist, just brief there, but she talks about how she's having trouble, at home. For some reason, her parents, they just not clicking like they used to, And her parents are even trying, her dad, because her dad is Rainian, so he's an alien also, but not from the same alien she is. And she's like, okay, let's get the training, power up. She flames up or whatever she does, and she starts burning shit. And he starts, yelling at her, like, what are you doing? She's like, didn't Superman train you better than this? Like just yelling at her for no reason. And she's like, yes, I need training, help me out. And they basically get to a loud argument and, uncomfortable silence. And, and she's just like, I could train you, but you got to listen to everything I say and blah, blah, stuff like that. Cut to it. That's D, the big tattoo guy, stuff like that. He basically saying, look, since everything's kind of calmed down, I'm going to come up to your house now. Me and your dad can help you train, because you definitely need training if you're going to fight, the evil dudes that took over your home planet, Let's see. Move on past that. And she keep having nightmares about what her home planet looks like, Damn it. Right. Okay. Everything's screwed up. Anyway, so she's having dinner with Annabelle. They go to dinner because, like I said, that's the one that's supposed to have dinner, and D's supposed to come over, supposed to train them. But D doesn't show up. They have a comfortable silence. The dad's on the phone, and he just gets up and leave. And she like, I called him 4 hours ago. He didn't show up. So Naomi knows something up. So she flies off. See what I'm talking about? The art. Jamal Campbell killed the art on this shit. She flies over to D's auto shop. Flies what's going on. Nobody's there. And when she gets in there, somebody has basically torn his house apart, even though he's not there. So
this is just kind of like one of those on the show, the episode or whatever.
Yeah, like it's very close to each other. Yeah. So she picks up one of the Thanagarian, symbols. She don't know if it's like a call sign. She talks into it like, D, can you hear me? And then while she's talking, her dad breaks in the room. And he's got one of his alien Iranian guns and shit like that. She's like, what are you doing here? You breaking and entering? And she was like, Dad, somebody kidnapped D. What's going on? She was like, go home. And that's when she was like, wait a minute. Did you have something to do with this? Dun, 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 to be continued. So that's what's going on right now. So yes, it's very episodic. But I think that was always the point of this, Naomi show to begin with. So, but the thing is, the comic moves way faster than the TV show does. It gets to the point, moves on, and it's still like a slice of life superhero comic. That's the angle they're going for. But yeah, it's cool. Like I said, art's awesome. But did you do all your books already? Or?
I got Han Solo.
Oh, cool.
I can do Han Solo.
Cool. All right.
I didn't save any images. Sorry, I didn't do my homework.
Cool. That's cool. We did kind of this last minute because we didn't know what we were going to talk about till yesterday.
Yeah. So this is that Han Solo and Chewbacca book. This takes place, I believe, before episode 4. Yeah, obviously, because Han Solo's still a fucking like smuggler. And it's basically he gets hired to do a job to break into some Jabba to break into some like rich dude's casino and steal some shit. But the problem is he has to work with Greedo. Greedo has all the information. So it's basically Chewbacca, Han Solo, and Greedo going to this planet to go break into this casino to get this thing. But they don't have it's in a safe, and they don't have any way to open it. They don't have a code. They need like a big giant machine to open it, to drill through it, and they just don't have time to do it. So they got to rethink, how to get into the safe, how to steal this shit. They end up in a bar, and they're just chilling. I need to think. I need to figure this out. And so they're on Corellia. That's where this this job is. Corellia, which is where Han Solo was born, where he grew up on the streets doing, crime and shit. So he's in the bar and he meets this old guy, and he's like, he works at the shipyards, he's like, oh, I see you work at the shipyards, welding, making ships and shit. He says, yeah, my father worked in those shipyards. He says, oh, really? Yeah. So they start bullshitting, they start drinking and shit. And kind of getting to know each other, shooting the breeze at the bar. And then at the end, it figures out the guy he's talking to turns out to be Han Solo's dad. So that's kind of where
has he ever met his dad before? Or?
No, he's never. Yeah, he was a runaway. So
right.
So he never really knew his dad. And they're like, Dad, Han, and then that's kind of where it ends. And then meanwhile, Han, because Han did another job. It started out where Han did this other heist, and he's got like, the cops after him, other bounty hunters are after him, other crews are after him. So there's all these people kind of after Han right now anyway. So that's all little subplots going on. So all the shit's, it's, crime story, cops and robbers shit, so it's pretty cool. It's Han Solo doing dirt before he joined the rebels. And it's fun. So I give it a 4 out of 5.
Cool. Okay. All right. So the next book we're going to do is one we've actually been avoiding talking about for months. But
Okay.
now since it came out now, we're like, we might have because I've been holding off addressing this subject all this time until we actually talk about it and get the chance to read review. Oh, not that. Not the controversial Naomi. Hold on. Where was that? Yeah, there we go. Yes, Punisher 2022. So I've been holding off talking about this book as long as I can because I was like, I always want to just read it before we just say things that we don't even know what the book is about. Let's actually like judge the art for what it is. So yes,
yeah, I read a few reviews, so I got the gist of. I didn't read this book, because.
And I understand you have a stance. I understand.
Yeah, I just wasn't interested in this story or Ninja Punisher or any of that shit. Yeah, and then after the whole Conan thing, I'll use that as an excuse. I'm canceling.
You canceling Jason Aaron. So yeah.
I'm boycotting it. So fuck this. That'll be my
excuse. We're canceling comic book writers now. Like that's a thing.
But yeah, I just didn't care about this storyline, and but I did read a few reviews, so I know what happens.
Cool. All right. And then I get, because between the two of us, you're the hardcore Punisher guy. Like this is your thing. I am a casual Punisher fan, even if you want to call it that. So,
and I've enjoyed Jason Aaron's other Punisher runs. I mean, Jason Aaron, yeah, he like I said, he writes macho men doing macho shit. His Thor run, his Conan run, his Punisher, his Wolverine run. I've enjoyed some of Jason Aaron's shit. So yeah.
So, but and for people that don't know what's so controversial about this book, what everybody we'll get into that also. But first thing we guys can do is just jump into it. Let's talk about what this book is going on. So yeah, the book starts off with like I said, the famous Punisher, Frank Castle family getting shot up, and basically Punisher was there with them also getting shot to shit. But he was up still moving, and police are just looking at him like, how the hell is this guy still moving? Somebody hold him down, And he's looking at his wife dying, and that's it. So that's how the book starts off. Pretty much it. And they're like, who is this guy? Frank Castle is the Punisher.
Is that all the Punisher's greatest hits?
The money shot. Yeah, you got the Daredevil thing here, and the Mike Zeck here, and Nom, and yeah, all stuff like that. So yeah, if you're a Punisher fan, this is when I always love this one when he shows up on some gangsters with a bazooka.
Oh yeah, I have that. That's Punisher number 2. I still got that.
Did he really do that? Like, wouldn't that hurt him? Anyway, doesn't matter. It's Punisher. Going to the next thing. Okay, so what we got here, we got they're in Greece, and you basically got some arms dealers, and I don't know who these guys are, but I'm going to assume they're like acolytes of Ares, because Ares, yes, is in Marvel also, because he wears that dumbass helmet too, and they keep saying Bliss the War because he's the god of war. So that's what I think. So they get these calls from like this East African warlord trying to wage war on Wakanda, Hydra, all the people, the people you expect. But they get this call, somebody's going on, they pull out the gamma guns, they got special guns supposed to kill Hulk. Lights get cleared off all of a sudden, and everybody gets chopped up, and boom, only one guy is left. But the one guy's left is missing a hand or arm. I can't remember which one. Missing a hand. Okay. And he just looks at him. He's just like, who do you work for? And he's like, I'm gonna just cut to the end. He's basically just like, either tell me who you work for or pick up your gun. And he's just like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna pick up my gun. So he actually picks up a gun, but he like shakes his hand off the gun, and aims it right before he shoots him. And before he gets the shot off, damn. Like one of the Mortal Kombat fatality moves, but it wasn't right quick fatality move because Punisher hasn't mastered the technique yet, so it didn't kill the guy one hit. He actually still alive. He's bleeding out. He's like, oh shit, I meant to kill this guy, but he ain't dead. So he walks back over and finish him off. So then he just says to everybody in the room, okay, and he does the whole Ronin shit. I said, you could have made this a Ronin book. Hawkeye doing this shit, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, he just says, take the weapons, burn the rest. And all of a sudden, these ninjas just pop out of nowhere. And so now, not only is Punisher a ninja, he runs the Ninja Clan. And if you notice, he has a different insignia, a different symbol than he had before.
It's
We
the
will talk
hand,
about that
isn't
in a
it? Is
second.
that the hand?
I mean, it's not a hand; that's a skull.
No,
You'd
I
think
mean
it'd
the
be a hand.
hand. He's running the hand.
Yeah, he's running the hand. I thought you meant his symbol was the symbol of hand. But yeah, he's running the hand. So anyway, so he goes to the ninja assassin dojo, whatever like that. And he meets the arch priestess, and she basically saying, "Welcome back, Punisher." And basically your guys have came back and they gave you presents. All of these guys right here are like murderers, rapists, pedophiles. They got off, but the back here, you got women in there too. It's like, but they didn't do anything to them. They brought them for you to do with as you will. And so Punisher just gets ready to cock back and takes the first, pedophile out, but then we get a flashback to see what's going on. So he back from murdering a whole bunch of people. He gets back to, hard day of killing. And right before he gets there, he gets jumped by the hand. He like, what the fuck these people are doing here like that? And then at the same archpriest was just like, this is your first test. We cut back to the present time, chop the guy's head off, and apparently we don't see it, but he killed everybody in the room. He was like, okay, go find some more pedophiles for tomorrow. I'll kill those guys too. So then I'm gonna go chill and rest up, And everybody's just bound to him, and he goes there. He goes back to his guns and shit. His old Punisher insignia is like a shrine or whatever, and he gets ready to go to bed. But you see a woman in his bed, So we cut back to the past time, and Punisher's going all John Wick on these. Oh, he's going to punish on these guys. And so he like shoots the shit out of them, but they like getting him, they stab him. And I love the action. The action is kinetic.
The art looks dope. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, like I said, he's got like a dual shotgun going on with a spear in his head. He doesn't say any funny punchlines like Deadpool shit like that. He just kills. That's all he does. His shotgun gets cut in half by the ninjas. He gets knocked into the refrigerator. So he grabs his sword out of the refrigerator and stabs the dude in the dick. I think it's a knife. Stabs the dude in the dick with a knife. Yeah. Chops the refrigerator in half. He gets hit with ninja stars. He still mows him down. And while the guy's coming in there, he reaches back behind him and pulls out a chainsaw and starts going to work on him from that, But so because they still going to work on him after that. He's chopping them up, just glorious stuff. And then he pulls out, he has a remote detonator. He pulls out. These guys are right in his Claymore trap.
So his apartment's all booby trapped and shit.
Yeah, because he's Punisher, of course, So like everybody's there. The archpreacher's like, damn, this dude, okay, he is who he thought he was, Bodies just on top of bodies, and then Punisher jumps up, has an M60 in his arm where he's loading it by himself and just mows down everybody. And the archpriestess looking like she's getting, moist over all this. Like, oh wow. Oh my goodness, he is who a man we thought he was. So yeah, she's like, okay, Frank, she calls him by his real name, Francis Castillon, because that's Frank Castle's real name. He changed it. He was like, does this belong to you? He's like, no, but this does. Now who sent you? He was like, Frank, before you kill me, I got some important information that you might want to hear. So then he turns around, some more people walk in. They bring a lady in, and then, the archpreacher says, now tell me, actually, I'm going to ask you again, does this belong to you? And then we cut to the end. Frank gets naked, sexy time, and he gets into bed, and it's Maria, his dead wife, back to life. But she still got like the bullet hole scars and stuff like that. Like I said, this is not out of character for the hand. The hand does this stuff all the time. Elektra always dies. That's just what they do. They just bring people back because they can do that.
Yeah, they did that to Echo. Echo got killed, and they resurrected her.
Yeah, it's their MO. That's what they do. What do we got? I might need you. Oh, here we go. Who is this?
Yo,
what up? Nah, kid. That's hilarious. I didn't read that out loud. Yeah. Okay, so can we get to the controversy? Because we never talked about it.
What did you think of the comic?
Honestly, I thought the comic was awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Only thing is, like I said, I'm not as much as a Punisher, diehard fan as others will. So I could see how people would read this as out of character. Now, I don't know if this is out of character for Punisher.
I mean, looking at it, it looks pretty cool. It does look fun. I will admit, I didn't read it, but yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah, and plus, it's a mini series anyway, so we already know what's going to happen. He's going to go through this whole adventure, and then everything's going to go back to status quo anyway. But the thing is, why this book got so much, is so much controversy, is because of the symbol. Because of the symbol has been changed. Now, there are a lot of reasons why people think the symbol was changed in this one. In the comic, it was explained because he's a member of the hand now, so he's wearing the hand symbol. But in the real world where we live, if that's what you want to call this, people are saying they've been changed because the Punisher symbol has been co-opted by, let's say, domestic terrorists and the police. Yeah, so the thing is, so they're walking around with this, they're saying they're expanding just and they're using Punisher as a symbol for that. So Marvel is trying to distance himself when this guy like mows down a whole bunch of people wearing a Punisher symbol, or a cop breaks a black dude's neck and he's got a Punisher tattoo and stuff like that. They're trying to, I guess, separate themselves from that. They never publicly came out and said they're going to do that, but that's what this feels like.
Even though some of the old comics and some of the old writers of Punisher have said in public, like, "Yo, the Punisher is not a cop. He's not part of the military. He is a psychopath vigilante, and they don't endorse cops or the military or militants using
Right.
their symbol, using the Punisher symbol."
Right. But is that enough for Marvel to just distance themselves from these idiots out here doing this stuff? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying,
Okay, I don't know how deep we want to go, because I've thought about this a while now. I was like,
Mhm.
They sell stickers. I've seen the stickers of Punisher with the American flag or the Blue Lives Matter Punisher, skull, and
Right. None of this is endorsed by Marvel.
yeah,
Like I
none
said,
of it. None of it. Yeah, they're just freely using the Punisher symbol and make it their own. Disney, who owns Marvel, who does the Punisher, they have in their ability to tell people to cease and desist, and they have not.
True.
So this whole thing of, oh, we're gonna like bring this attention, this is what they do, they bring attention, we're gonna take a progressive stance and make this comic where we're gonna change the skull just because it's being misused, when in the end they haven't really taken that the steps they could to rectify the situation.
Right. All they want to do is just basically wash their hands of the situation.
Pat themselves on the back like they always do.
Right. Because I'm thinking, like, is this the way to fix this situation? I don't know. Because hell, these assholes might just take the Ninja Punisher assembler and just go shoot up a bunch of people. They might do that, Or since Punisher doesn't use guns anymore, they might use swords and ninja stars. Now, honestly, if they do that, I would give Marvel a pat on the back for that. Damn, these crazy assholes chop people up with a sword. Okay, good job, Marvel. Make a tweet.
Nobody follows me.
Nobody follows us. We can make a tweet. Nobody's gonna care. Appreciate you, not here for that, but yeah.
I am so not well versed in Twitter, so
yeah. Our digital footprint is very small at the moment. But yeah. But that's the thing. So, like I said, isn't enough? Is Marvel basically in the clear for this? Because I don't know. I feel like Marvel doesn't know what to do with Punisher. Well, I take that back. Disney doesn't know what to do with Punisher, because Marvel is always like, he's an asshole, he's a crackpot, we don't really know what to do with him. And that was the appeal of Punisher, because he was so fucking crazy, he didn't know what to do with him. But
he was
Disney,
a product. Yeah, he was a total product of the 80s. He started out as a throwaway Spider-Man villain, but once the 80s rolled around and we had Schwarzenegger and Rambo and the macho tough guy shooting up, the one-man army shooting up, disposable enemies with guns. Hey, let's bring Punisher back and make him that guy, the guy with the guns who shoots down all the disposable enemies. And that's what,
and in the 80s,
he's a product of the 80s,
Yeah, and that's the thing, but we're not in the 80s
that's
anymore.
What we're into,
we're woke now,
And then you had the Garth Ennis run, who made, he used the Punisher to sort of comment on American violence and American the military action and involvement in other countries, and he brought like corruption. It was more a comment on the violence that America perpetrates, and the Punisher is a product of that, and that's why that run works so well.
But see, I think that's the problem, Eli, what we're getting into with comics and adapting comics in general. And not even talking about Hollywood, I'm talking about even with people, what they take away from comics. Subtext just doesn't exist. They look at characters like Rorschach, thinking like, oh, he's cool as fuck, when that's not supposed to be the case of the character. You're supposed to look at him like he's a fucked up character. But people don't see context. They just see cool ass art. And that's what they go with. Nobody looks at Punisher like, is he problematic or he's supposed to be problematic inside the road. They just like, oh, he's cool as fuck. He shoots a bunch of people. Let's just do that, So I don't know. Cosmic Ghost Rider with great Punisher, and that is Frank Castle. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Marvel is trying to do everything with Punisher except make him Punisher. Let's make him Ghost Rider. Let's make him Frankenstein. Let's make him an angel. Let's make him War Machine. Let's make him Ninja. Let's do like what the fuck, War Machine, man? But that's the thing. They're trying to do everything.
Was fun. That was so fun.
But here's the thing. I got triggered on it. We got 6 black superheroes, and you're gonna make one of them Punisher. There's probably people look at things, bro. They look at a couple going around saying they were jerking Harley Quinn, like what the fuck? Yeah, that hashtag goals, relationship goals. Like no, like no, this is never. No, Harley and Ivy, those are relationship goals, right? Man.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, at the core, the Punisher is a psychopath, and that's what works best for him.
But making him an immortal ninja with all this, it basically separate him from reality. So people, there's no way these assholes can copy what he's doing. They can't just like ninjas and shit.
He's just a fascinating character, and and we talked about this. Like, you don't have to like a character to be riveted.
And that's the thing, Eli. I don't think people get that. I don't think people understand it. They think anytime it's a main character, you must agree with what their character do.
Yeah, like they must be wholesome. And be and agree with everything you do, and they're not allowed to be flawed or whatever. Unless it
or wrong. They're not allowed to be wrong.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I'm a Punisher fan, but I don't aspire to be the Punisher,
Right.
You know what I mean? And we talked about Scarface. We love watching Scarface and gangster movies, but we don't want to do that,
But here's the thing, though, Eli. Okay, all these gangster movies we grew up on, there is a rise and fall. Like we saw the ending to Scarface. We saw the ending to, Godfather. That we never saw the ending to Punisher. And even if we do, he gets resurrected by the hand and he comes back. It doesn't matter anyway, So there's no rise and fall or no moral to the story of what Punisher does. He just kills a bunch of people and kills more people.
And that's where he works best, when he is just a tool, when he is just a storm that just comes in and wrecks the place.
Nature.
Wrecks the place and exposes corruption and exposes the negativity in the world. And that's how I view him. That's what keeps me riveted, he's a murdering psychopath, but he's fun to watch or fun to read,
And Gomer and I disagreed today. I was like, yes, Punisher has been a psychopath before. Like I said, we're joining the hand. Honestly, it's not too far away from what we've seen before, because hell, a couple years ago, he joined Hydra. Like when Captain America was doing all that weird shit. And Punisher, Captain America was some kind of weird alternate universe clone or whatever the fuck he was. Frank Castle was Frank Castle. He just signed it. He was like, oh, you said we can kill a bunch of people? Sign me up, because his goals are already not too far away from Hydra trying to do anyway. So, like I said, he's an anti-hero. We're not supposed to agree with anything he does, but there are people out there that idolize this crazy shit he does because he is a fascinating character. He kills a bunch of people,
and it goes all the way back to Westerns like Clint Eastwood, The Man with No Name. That dude, he's a good guy in those stories. But he could very well be a villain in another story because that dude is a criminal. He's an outlaw. He kills indiscriminately. He's so good at killing. He's got all these gun tricks and he's fast on the draw. But he's still an he's not a good guy. He's not He's not a hero. He is an anti-hero. But that's the comment on the Westerns of those times. They were commenting on, the West being this fucked up landscape.
Right.
Where all
There are no heroes. Right.
These fucked up people exist, and that's the comment. The spaghetti Westerns, they were commenting on America. Like America is a corrupt land that was built on genocide and slavery, and they built all these towns full of fucked up people, and that's what America is. And all these corrupt characters exist, like the man with no name. He is a criminal. He is an outlaw. But
and the only law is the person made by the one with the fastest gun. That's it.
Yeah.
So right and wrong, that plays no part into it. Yeah.
And that's the subtext that goes back to the subtext that no one wants to, or nobody notices or nobody talks about. They just say, oh my God, that guy just kills people, and oh my God, he blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, that's what he does.
Plus, he really needs his own corner of the Marvel universe. Where I mean, they always stick him in the corner of the universe. I mean, you rarely see him team up with the Hulk or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the Savage Avengers for a spell, and that was fun while it lasted.
But wasn't he like killing monsters and shit? It's that don't really count. Yeah, okay, he killing dinosaurs and mutants and shit like that. I'm talking about crack dealers, rapists, pedophiles. Like he, goes at those guys, and they don't really have him do that anymore. I don't know.
Well, in Garth Ennis's run, that's all he did. Garth Ennis,
but how long ago was that run? That's the thing.
Yeah,
what, early 2000s? Yeah.
And every time Garth Ennis writes a Punisher book now, it gets all flack from all the comic skaters. They're all like, "Oh, this woke Punisher now," and all blah 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 blah. But that was the nature of Garth Ennis's run.
Right.
Garth Ennis's Punisher run is what kept him relevant and what kept him pop. That led to the movies and all that stuff. And they're missing the subtext in that. Garth Ennis was making those comments in his comics, in the Punisher run, and he's just doing the same thing. The last, was it the Battle Forge or whatever, the last Garth Ennis run that came out where they talked about his time in Vietnam again.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was about all these soldiers regretting going to war and regretting just having all this guilt over all the atrocities they committed during the Vietnam War. And all these people read it and, oh my God, this is all woke now. Is libtards and their woke agenda and all this shit. But that was always there. That was always there in Garth Ennis's run. And now he's writing a new book. See, that's why I didn't read this one. I'm waiting for the Garth Ennis book to come out because he's got a new one coming out. And that's what I'm waiting for. And I already hear, the woke Garth Ennis Punisher coming back.
Because this is a safe book. Yes, he's chopping a bunch of people. Yeah, he's chainsaw ninjas like that. Still safe. You can't chainsaw ninjas in real life because ninjas don't exist. So what we got here? Age of Ultron 2. Why would they make an Age of Ultron 2 when Age of Ultron was part?
Popping out with people kind of like butterflies, peacemakers. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, I missed that part. Oh, yeah. As a villain, when he's going around talking about androids or swapping out with people kind of like butterflies, peacemaker. Actually, he wasn't trying to swap out people. He just want to swap out himself. He just want to become. It's the Pinocchio thing. They kept saying Pinocchio over again. He want to be a real boy.
Yeah. And we talked about the Peacemaker. Peacemaker was another anti-hero.
Yes, Peacemaker.
I don't even know if he was anti. I think he was just a straight up villain.
He was just a straight up villain. He was just shooting people. Just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that we started to care about. He's a racist douchebag that we kind of fell in love with.
It's
again,
weird how they did it, but they made it work.
Fun to watch, a blast to watch, but you care about him because he's starting to realize the mistakes that he made. And this is from James Gunn, who's woke as fuck, woke and left leaning as fuck.
Like they came after him. That's why Marvel had to fire him because they came after him. So yeah. I got one more book. Should I do it?
Sure.
Okay. Last one after then I'm booked out. I feel like I'll go ahead and do it because we keep talking about woke this, woke that, and you got people super pissed off about this book. This is the most hated comic series out right now, Eli.
Talk about woke.
woke on woke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm
So yeah,
straight
we're
up
gonna talk
meth
about.
head. I haven't slept in days.
Let's see. We're gonna talk about Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 9. Like I said, this is part 2 of a story that came over from Nightwing. So this is part 2. That's the finale of this. So we're just gonna talk about that. Basically it's a Superman, John Kent Nightwing team up. That's what it is. So let's see what we got. Yeah, so it starts off basically like we said last time. There was, and I don't know who the artist they got for this, but he's awesome on this also. There's some good art this week. But yeah, there's a serial killer out killing a bunch of superheroes. So so Oracle telling that all the superheroes need to partner up. They need to get another partner to go with them. But Nightwing is out here by himself, so he knows that the guys that are killing him got something to do with Lex Luthor. So he's knocking out some of like Lex Luthor's unknown spots. I do like this little thing they gave, like nice guy, moving company, not illegal gun runners, in parentheses. So, but the art of here, just watch Nightwing just go
Like
Nightwing and shit
flipping
like that.
around and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, to do this shit like, damn, that shit just awesome. People, this is why Nightwing sells so much. But anyway, these guys show up, the Rising. These are these serial killers going around killing superheroes. Nightwing's by himself. They're like, okay, he's an easy kill. He's a gimme. So we can just get this again. You can't run. He's just like, I wasn't trying to. And plus, half this job is cardio anyway. So yeah, I can run. Deuces. And so he does this little flip thing. That's cool. Also, flip on top of the building. The Rising go after him. And they actually beat him up there before he gets there.
I love
And then,
how the
Mhm.
panels are basically the building, like
Right,
framed into
I
the
was loving it.
building.
I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
who this artist is, but man, his eye
The
is just.
layouts, yeah, the art and just the layout and the paneling. It's just,
Is
yeah,
this the
it's
same
great.
guy that does the Nightwing books?
I don't know. It looks like it.
Because the Nightwing stuff is like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So he just grabs Nightwing, just throws him off the ledge, just makes him drop, and they just look like, yeah, you want to watch him drop? Yeah, let's just watch him drop. Okay. So while he's dropping, Superman flies off like John, but he flies past Nightwing.
Who's just chilling
And
in the
Nightwing,
air.
yeah, Nightwing is fought with his legs crossed, just fall. It's just like, yeah, you go get him. Like he's just letting him fall, just doesn't give a shit. And then Superman just beat the shit out of everybody, and they just like getting their ass knocked out. They asked a question. So basically, what the plan was is that they were like, wait, you were supposed to be out of the country. We saw you fly out of the country an hour ago. He's like, yeah, I did, but I kept flying because the Earth is round. So I just came back around. We wanted you to think Nightwing was by himself so we could draw you out. We use him as bait. Well, shouldn't you be rescuing him? Like, nah, he got it. So then we saw how Nightwing survived that shit. So John threw his baton over. Nightwing does some bloop bloop shit, get some squirrel wings like Batman did in the movie. Spoiler alert. And then he flies off. Yeah. And he does the thing, but he sees the baton, so he catches the baton right in the air. Man, the art in this is shit, man.
And
I'm telling you,
I did think of the Batman too when I saw that panel.
It is. So he ropes the thing up and flies back up. He likes how it goes. So he sees what's going on. Superman kind of got everything in hand. He's like, I really can't handle these guys. Like, I'm kind of just here now. He's like, nah, you pulled your weight by being bait. So yeah, so he jumps in, kicks a bunch of ass. One dude grabs him, headbutts him, and Nightwing's just like, dude, did you really headbutt Superman? And the guy knocks himself out. So when he does that, everybody else just flies off and shit like that. It was like, and John's like, I could go after them, but since Nightwing got a track on it anyway, I'm just letting go because I want to see where they go. So he sees them flying in LexCorp. So he knows Lex got something to do with it, and he X-rays LexCorp building, and underneath the building, it's all lead. So like, okay,
Yeah.
Lex Luthor is definitely up to some shady shit, Well, they're gonna interrogate this guy. They were like, well, he must not be that smart because if he's dumb enough to headbutt you, obviously he's not that smart, So that's when President Bendix or whatever like that, he like, kill this guy. So he takes control of that guy and starts talking to him like, you're not Superman. You're a child wearing your father's clothes. You can't stop the Rising, And then he X-rays him, sees something about to go off in his head, but right before his head go off, the guy gets control again like Superman. So he knows somebody is controlling him, and he blows up. And he turns around the Nightwing. He like, Nightwing, you okay? You're like, yeah, you shielded me, but are you okay? And Superman just like, and then he just like hugs him, So back at the Kent house, he talks to Lois, and they just like, look, Clark told me to watch after John while he's gone. That's what I'm here for. But that's not the only reason I'm here for. Look, it's some bigger stuff going around right now that we can't fight it just with fists. We can't super punch the narrative. We need to get behind this, and I need the best reporter on the planet I can find. And it's you. I need you to join the truth. So she wants him to join his podcast, because it's Lois Lane,
Yeah.
So he goes up there, talk to him. I'm gonna just get past this, some old mushy. Yeah, I miss my dad. Can you be my new dad? All stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, so John's boyfriend, here comes the woke shit. His boyfriend comes in, he's just like, John, you need to see this. And Dick just like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. So he tries to attack him with a toy elephant or some shit, Then Lois jumps in with like some kind of Kryptonian weapon or whatever like that. Like, what the hell going on in here? She's like, calm down, it's okay. And the boyfriend, I forgot his name. He like, no, it's not. Hey, that's his name. He was like, oh yeah. And then they finally introduce each other. I'm editor of the truth. You need to see this. And they have footage. The Gamoran country released footage of what happened that day, and they show the footage of the guy exploding, and they're trying to, So when that happened, that's when Dick basically looked at Lois and like, okay, now do you see what we're fighting? And Lois like, yeah, yeah, we need to take this asshole down. So, and then so they start talking, and I passed over that why Dick is giving him a lollipop, because in the other book, when he found him in the cave, he gave him a lollipop, whatever. But yeah, that's going on right there. So, like I said, I'm still digging this book, man. I know everybody hates it. I know it's the wokest thing ever, Superman has a boyfriend and climate change and stuff like that. Get over it. It's still a fun book. Tom Taylor is killing this book. He's killing Nightwing also. Like I said, he's one of the best out to do it. I skipped over one little part where Nightwing, for most people that don't know this, that Nightwing got his name from Superman, because Nightwing is a Kryptonian bird. And he had a conversation with Superman, and for some reason just like, yeah, I'll take that name. So
no shit.
I don't know. Yeah.
I did not know that.
It was a thing back in Teen Titans. He had a conversation with Superman. Superman's like, hey, face of Nightwing. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that's what we got there. So like I said, I am booked out. I got no more books. Yeah, if you listen this long, if you like, share, subscribe. Eli, we made it through this podcast. I thought we were gonna have fluids all over the screen and stuff like that, But we made it through. Yeah. So hopefully next week we will have a clean bill of health. We will give you a podcast. We're at tip top position where we both ran 10 miles apiece. It would come in and just do a podcast. I doubt that would happen, but you never know. So I don't know what's happening next week. We're just gonna talk about some new stuff, and we'll just kind of go from there. Eli, anything else you got to add, or?
No, I think we got it.
Okay. Appreciate all the new people. We got some new people that came in and commented, so appreciate you. Just chilling out with us, having a good conversation with us. Tell your people about us and join us. Don't be a one and done. Join in with us. Yeah. But until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.
Hated, always stayed official. Then my part, I played it. Now I'm faded. Money made it. Take my time and demonstrate it. Hop up on a different plane. I'm about to cop a different chain. I'm about to cop a different whip. Every night a different dip. If it's about $1 million, book my flight, I'll take the trip. Youngest niggas getting rich. I'ma always make the list. Put some diamonds in my watch. I'm icy like I spray my wrist. Ain't no other nigga you can name that put you on like this.
Bringing that bread up, pouring that bread up, look how I whip the knee. Never gon' let up, put on that pedal, no one could do what I did. Bringing that bread up, pouring that bread up, look how I whip the knee. Never gon' let up, put on that pedal, no one could do what I did. I put you on for real, I put you on for real. I put you on, I put you on, I put you on for real. I put you on for real, I put you on for real. I put you on, I put you on, I put you on for real. I'm on the bomb, it's kill. Fuck the alarm for real. I hit the farm to bill. I got a monster deal. Might cop 100, I might get in front of them, I might get them gone, but still. Watch how the foreign pill. I put you on for real. Shit is soul in the flip. VVS in my drip. Shout out Ronnie, my mans. Get it poppin' and kiff. It's professional hustling. You dudes not in discussion. Just me, Cameron, and Justin. This ain't amateur stuntin'. Bringing that bread up, pouring that bread up, look how I whip the meal. Never gon' let up, put on that pedal, no one could do what I did. Bringing that bread up, pouring that bread up, look how I whip the meal. Never gon' let up, put on that pedal, no one could do what I did. I put you on for real, I put you on for real. I put you on, I put you on, I put you on for real. I put you on for real, I put you on for real. I put you on, I put you on, I put you on for real. My soul, 15 was knocking like all suck it now. That high, no doubt. Look at them looking at nigga, looking now. I got gunshot just to come out of the wood with a chicken to me. KRIT, remember the time I ain't think a nigga be king. Multi-alumni, this is the army, this is a navy. I was the moving, I was the touring. Even when radio never would play me. Crazy, see me on top, returning forever, I'm never gonna settle. Look at the level, precious the metal. Nigga, I tell you, dig it like shovels. Who put you on for bringing that bread up, throwing that bread up? Look how I whipped the meal. Never gonna let up, put on that pedal, no one could do what I did. Breaking that bread up, throwing that bread up, look how I whipped the meal. Never gonna let up, put on that pedal, no one could do what I did. I put you on for real. I put you on for real. I put you on, I put you on, I put you on for real. I put you on for real. I put you on for real. I put you on, I put you on, I put you on for real.